Hey, what's up, everyone? How y'all doing? Hope y'all can. Are y'all seeing the videos? Hopefully, is everything good? 'Cause on my end, is saying there's like some type of issue for people on Instagram. I don't know if that's the case. Definitely let me know. So as you can see, title is like, should I quit bodybuilding? But I'm gonna just discuss that for a little bit, just in case y'all didn't know. My name's Corinne Sutton. I've been doing bodybuilding for over 11 years. I'm a three-time pro. As you can see, I have tons of trophies in the back. Won over about 30, I believe, about like 32 different shows. I believe there's tons of trophies here. We even have tons of trophies there on the side as well. A lot of medals. Um, Heavily rewarded in the sport of bodybuilding. And just to let y'all know, if y'all didn't know, everything's good. All right, perfect. But like I said before, just to let y'all know, I have officially quit bodybuilding. Okay, after 11 years of doing it, doing so many shows, posing routines, doing the sport, I decided to quit, and there's multiple reasons why. One of the reasons is because of the dieting. Okay, I was just getting tired of it. You know what I'm saying? And I have to be real with you too, because with bodybuilding, it consists of a lot of dieting. You're always bulking, you're bulking and cutting. And eventually you just get tired, especially when you're cutting. You're getting down to levels of body fat that's not really healthy for you. And your body starts taking a toll of that, right? And for over 11 years, I've done it in the most healthiest way possible. And that's something that I always promoted. I always promoted bodybuilding. I always promoted that I do it in a healthy way. I do it naturally, you know what I mean? But when it comes to the diet, especially on a plant-based diet, because I am vegan personally, you have to always make sure you're getting enough nutrients. But the problem is that when you're cutting so much, you can't get a lot of the essential nutrients unless you're doing some type of supplementation with that. And also as well, when your body fat is so low, after a long period of time, especially dieting and stuff, your body starts to get some side effects from that. So for me, some of those side effects were just my adrenal glands, and I think it's because like I run a business too. It's not just bodybuilding, but the bodybuilding and running a business doesn't play together. You know what I mean? Like if you're cutting and you're not eating a lot of carbs, and then you're trying to run a business, and then you're like working out like crazy, it doesn't play a role, because you're constantly your body is constantly in a fight or flight state. And for me, it was in that fight state. It was always in that fight. And what I noticed with my current blood work that I just gotten done, my adrenal, they saw my cortisol levels were actually low, not high, low. And when they noticed that it was actually lower than its optimal range, they stated like it's because of the low dieting, and it was just like with the low carbs dieting consistently, they were like, dude, you've been doing bodybuilding for 11 years. I mean, like your body's just taking a toll from that, like, and your adrenals are getting crushed from it. So it's one of the reasons why I decided to stop, because I was like, I can't be in this place where I'm constantly dieting all the time, especially when I'm trying to be ripped and shredded, and I'm overworking my body and not fueling it properly. And even though I would do like refeeds and stuff like that, and even when I got tested, I was doing like big refeeds. Like I'm talking about 3,000, 4,000 calories. It wasn't enough. It was just like it was more from just the compound effect of just doing it on like for a long period of time. So that was one reason why I had to step away from it. You know what I'm saying? Another reason is because part of this was more personal. It was just like as you can see, this is where I work. This is my office, right? And when I'm working in my office, as you can see, there's no one here, right? And my whole business is revolved online. Okay. So a lot of my sales calls, a lot of my check-in calls with my students, me going live, even when I'm doing videos, like I've even changed a lot of my video format. I'm doing it more at home. It's just isolating. And bodybuilding is not like it doesn't have a lot of camaraderie. Like, like there's bodybuilding teams, like, like even the team I was uh, with my coach when I was doing bodybuilding, it's a team, but it's not a team. It's like there's no real camaraderie there, and nothing against the team I was with. It's just the sport of it, because the sport of bodybuilding itself is very individualistic. You know what I'm saying? And there's not a lot of community within that. So like the only time I would meet up with my team was only for posing practice, which was once or twice a month, and that's it. After that, everyone's doing their own thing. Like we will never hang out, we won't never work out together, nothing. And this is how it's been in bodybuilding for 11 years, and that's bodybuilding in general. And it's really hard to even find people to work out with you, because even when I had friends and stuff like that would work out with me, it's like the capacity. It's like I hate saying this. I don't want to say like oh, I'm better than everybody in the room, but when you're training as an athlete, it's really hard to find someone at that athletic level to train with you with. And so like I've always trained about 2.5 to 3 hours a day, especially in bodybuilding, and it's hard to find someone to match that caliber of training with you. You know what I'm saying? Especially, and that's one of the reasons why I wake up very early. I do everything fasted, is mostly because of that. And it was just becoming isolated. I was just getting bored. I'm like, man, I'm always working out by myself. Like it's getting boring. The sport is very individualistic. And then me being home all the time and working in my office by myself all the time, it's just isolated. So it's like I'm coming from one isolated room to wake up in the morning to go to another isolated room in the gym to do that. So it was just like I wanted to be outside more. And that's why I decided to quit, because first, mostly for health and wellness. I mean, I'm turning 40 and stuff. And I just told myself, like, I think I've proven myself enough as a athlete, especially an athlete on a plant-based diet, that you can build muscle with plants. You can perform at athletic and a high caliber level with plant-based foods. And I was like, and that's it. I mean, especially if I want to stay natural, like the only way I'm going to move up in the bodybuilding circuit, like to Olympia and stuff like that, is really if I took roids, so that's why I was just like, I don't want to even go to that level. And when I got into bodybuilding, it was never in the cards of my favor to actually do Olympia. I just wanted to show you guys what you can do with plant-based foods. You know what I'm saying? That it is possible and do these things. But the sport itself is just, over time, it just puts a harm to everyone's body. And I think, I don't think I'm alone. And I'm not just saying this as someone who's on a plant-based diet. I've heard similar stories with a lot of other people, a lot of other athletes. It's one of the reasons why a lot of other athletes leave the sport. I mean, adrenals is like, I think it's probably like the best thing actually walking away from, because I've heard way worse, like digestive issues and depression and body dysmorphia and a whole bunch of crazy shit. I've heard way worse. So I think walking away from the sport, just having like adrenal problems, I think that's nothing, So I was like, well, I mean, for 11 years going hard on the sport and just having adrenal issues, and that could easily be fixed within 2 or 3 months of just like, just eating more food and just meditating more and not overworking my body, like really just like, because what the doctors just told me, like the only thing you need to do is eat more food and just relax, like rest, like let your body rest, like that's the only thing, that's the only prescription you really need. And I obviously I found some supplements that could also help with that, like GABA and L-theanine and things like that could also help with the adrenals, magnesium, stuff like that can help, but help speed up with that process. So I'll keep y'all posted on those things as well. But that's why I wanted to reveal today is like, that's why I decided to really leave the sport and then get into the sport of cycling. As you can see, I have my bike back there. And I'm still training pretty aggressively, but now it's more cardio. And as much as I said I hated cardio, what I hated the most, what I found out what I really hated was steady state cardio. As much as I pushed it over the years, I pushed steady state cardio so much over the years about losing body fat, and it's less stressful, which it is. You know, not saying that I lied at any of it. It's just that my mindset on everything has changed, because now I'm doing a sport that's more aerobic. I kind of do steady state still. Like, I'll have my zone 2 rides, you know what I'm saying, which is technically by definition considered steady state, but I will also have my aerobic rides as well, where my zone 2 could go hit up to the zone 5 areas. I'm hitting all the zones, you know, zone 1 all the way to zone 5. And it's literally just an aerobic workout. And lately, since I've been doing that, which I've been having a lot of fun, being outside is good. You know, be able to travel while exercising is fun. It's relaxing. It's good for the mind. Even today, I rode about 31 miles. I rode from Aventura all the way down to South Point and back, which equated to 31 miles. It was about a 2-hour ride, and that was fun. And I still went to the gym, lift some weights, and I'm here, still energized, filled with energy. I'm not even taking as much caffeine like I used to, you know. And I think a lot of it is just has to do with this riding the bike, because when you're doing a lot of aerobic type exercises, you do spark up more serotonin within the mind, because you get that they call it like the runner's high. And I think that's part of it why I don't feel as tired. Maybe in the beginning I was getting cooked, because when I was riding, it was just like doing like aerobic stuff in the beginning, high aerobic workouts. I was toasted. But I think we're already on. This is, I think, this week. By the end of this week, it'd be a full month of riding, and my legs has improved. My cardio, my VO2 max has improved. Everything has improved. My energy, my mental clarity, everything has been better. And then also with the sport of biking or cycling, it's a bigger community. It's one of the biggest sports that's out there. It's bigger than football. And then when it comes to cycling, the cycling community is a real community. I'm not part of any real teams, but I am part of multiple community groups that rise throughout the week. And it's fun because I'm really connecting with people, you know, networking, be able to like have good conversations while riding, because not all the rides have to be so aggressive. Some of the rides could be just more for distance, and it's just a zone 2, zone 3 ride, not as aggressive, but able to hold a good conversation and ride like 3 hours and hit about 40, 50 miles, just enjoying yourself, you know, riding around the city, just enjoying. And I'm still lifting. I'm not going to quit lifting. I'm still doing that. I want to maintain everything. But the good thing, even within this month of lifting and cycling, and like I said, I'm burning about, I think now, like active calories in the exercise, around 2,000 to 2,500 calories on average, I would say, if I cycle and lift. So I am burning a lot more calories. But the funny thing is that I'm not tired like how I used to be in bodybuilding. Bodybuilding, I would just be gassed. And I'm able to eat more food. I'm able to get more micronutrients because I always push the hypernourishment protocol all the time. So I'm able to even push that higher. I'm able to stay lean easier because the workouts that I'm doing just burns cardio, like it burns calories like crazy. So I'm able to eat more, which I love, because I'm like, you know, I don't have to like do like an hour of cardio on a Stairmaster, then work out, spend like 2.5 to 3 hours in the gym doing all those exercises and walking away, coming back home feeling like crap, trying to keep calories super low. Like I'm I'm allowed to eat more food now, and I'm calculating my own meals, and I'm doing my own macros and calories, and I'm like, man, I'm really enjoying this. So I think this is some of the benefits that I'm loving about the cycling world, and even with lifting, because I'm just trying to maintain. I'm not trying to. My goal isn't really to build more muscle. I want more muscles in my legs. Really, that's what I want. Because that's one of my weakest parts. Even in bodybuilding, my legs were always the weakest. So I just want to build more muscularity in the legs. But overall, I've still been able to build more muscle without lifting as much, which is good as well. Because like when you're when you're burning so many calories on a bike, and you already have a lot of muscle, like you don't have to put so much emphasis in your lifts anymore. Especially if you already built that great foundation, which I have. Like, so this is some of the benefits. I just definitely wanted to share that with everyone. When y'all seeing me on the bikes, y'all seeing me in my bike suit and everything. I just wanted to share that with y'all. But with that said, excuse me, let me answer some questions. Because I see some people got some questions here, and I have a call at 3. Excuse me. So let me just read some stuff off. So Schiff said, I've done my run in bodybuilding also. I got my results that satisfied my wishes, and I proven myself what I can do. That's great, man. And now I just decided to do yoga, five Tibetan rites. I need more relax and me time. All right, cool, man. Yeah, so you changed up your sports, to more of the yoga stuff. No, that's great. That's great to hear. Yeah, I do yoga. I mean, I used to be a big fan of yoga, but like me personally, I just kind of got out of it, because what the yoga I like to actually enjoy doing is more like yin yoga. I don't like the vinyasa, man. I don't like moving around all too much, because I feel like I'm doing so much stuff in the physical fitness aspect when it comes to the relaxation and just the stretch. I just want to do yoga for the stretch, not as a challenge. So when it comes to balancing and like, putting your one leg up and all this crap, I'm like, yo, just like, let's get into a pose where it's relaxing and I can just enjoy that stretch, Let's see. Tay says bodybuilding is supposedly backed all by universal laws and principles. What do you mean? I don't understand that when you say that. Let's see. In VO2 max infinite. Yeah. The VO2 max benefits is insane when you cycle, especially when you're doing like distance stuff. Now, overall, the only thing I'm thinking about is like how far can I take the sport of cycling? Like, I'm still in that gray area if I should like do more like long distance rides, or maybe races, or just maybe small things. I don't know yet. Or some people even mention some triathlons. I haven't really looked that deep into like actual competitions yet. Right now, I'm just enjoying myself, having fun, talking, networking, using it more of a exercise and a networking tool right now. And I would say in the future, like right now, one goal I do have is that I definitely want to hit 100 miles on one day. Like one day, just hit 100. So the highest I ever ridden already was 50. And that was about 2 weeks ago. And I haven't tried another 50 mile yet. I might try it. I might try this weekend or maybe a week after, or I might try to push it a little bit further. But I do need to get some things before I start trying to hit these bigger feats, like a tire kit. So like, because I'm learning this world as I go, and with my bike, I don't have a tire kit yet, and rode last Sunday, and we did about 41 miles. And one of the guys I was riding with, he popped his tire, and we had to stop. And luckily, he had a tire kit with him, so he was able to change it. He showed me the ropes, and it's something that's pretty common, especially if you're doing very long rides. So a lot of cyclists do recommend it. So I'm learning as I go through this stuff, and I want y'all to stick with me and be with me through my journey of health and fitness, because again, health and fitness is a journey, and not everyone's going to stay at the same thing forever. You know what I'm saying? So like, and even with the bodybuilding thing, I nothing against bodybuilding. I love it. I still love it. I'll still help people, people who wants to do bodybuilding shows and stuff like that. I'll still help people do that and be able to win trophies and win and, do what they want to do within that sport. But I still, like I said, I still support it, man. But like, and I gained so much out of it. I mean, I got published in multiple books, be able to make an impact in the vegan community to show people what can be done on a plant-based diet, especially if someone who's vegan, who does bodybuilding and building muscle with plants. Like, super happy. This bodybuilding actually helped build my company, so there's zero complaints in the sport. But it's just like, I started in my mid-20s and now I'm 40, and it's just like, and I thought bodybuilding would be one of those things I would do like for a very long time, like in my 50s, 60s. But that's just how life is. And I think that's how I've always been. Like every time I've changed something in life, I always saw myself doing it a very long time. But then something happened, because that was like, even when I went to the military, I thought I was going to be a lifer. Like when I first joined, I thought I was going to do about 20 years in the military and did it. I only did 8 years, and then it changed. I had to change, and then I decided to do something different. So yeah, I'm going into a sport that's more me, and cycling. And here's the thing. And if you're asking why I changed, why out of all the sports, why cycling? Well, when I first started physical fitness, like when I first got into health and fitness, like as a business, my first certification was a Mad Dog instructor. So Mad Dog instructor is a spin instructor, like the spin bikes, indoor cycling. So it started there. And I loved spinning because it was just like playing the music, having fun, just teaching the classes. I love the classes and I love teaching the classes. So it was like my thing. I loved that. Out of personal training, I love teaching spin classes. Like I love that more than doing the one-on-one. And then once I got into the sport of bodybuilding, then I eventually step away from spinning for a bit. Like I used to try to incorporate, like, because when I start, I'm skipping over my words, but when I started bodybuilding, I would try to still do the spin classes, but eventually, like when I wanted to get more serious in the sport of bodybuilding, I had to quit the spin classes, and then I quit teaching it, and then I would only do it when it was on my off season. So the spinning was always been like a recreational thing that I would always do when I was on my off season. And then when I decided to quit bodybuilding, I'm like, well, I don't want to teach classes, and I don't want to and again, I don't want to be inside. Like, let's take it to the next level. And since I live in South Florida, in my area, there's always people cycling. And I was like, you know what? I think I want to get into the cycling world, man, and just check that out, because I always am impressed about people who cycle, and you're just traveling, you're riding tons of miles, and it must be a lot different than riding indoors, and it is. But with that said, I'm going to let y'all go. It's already 3. I don't want to be late on this call, so I'll go ahead and let y'all go, and I hope y'all have a great rest of your day. Peace.